Hello, welcome back to the channel. So as those that follow me know, I am a strong believer in combining weight training with karate or with your martial arts. And a lot of people have asked me for my training sessions, like to follow me along a session basically and see what I do in the gym. Today I'm going to show you my leg session, and it's legs A. So I split legs into 2 sessions a week, legs A and legs B. And A is more focused on quads. So I'm going to take you through that session, tell you exactly what I do, and I'll put the other sessions together in another video. So first of all, I'll show you on the screen as I'm talking, but I will warm up with squats first. The intention with my squat is to go as heavy as I can for a set of 3 to 5 reps. So what I'll do is I'll ramp up the weight as part of my warm up. So I'll have a little bit of mobility work to start with, sit into a squat a little bit, stretch out my ankles if I need to, or whatever needs doing that day. And then I will start putting weight on the bar. So I'll start with 1 plate and 2 plates and 3 plates and so on. Today I worked up to a 200 kilos set of 3. And the warm-up sets were 60 kilos, 100, 140, 160 and 180 for the final warm-up set, or kind of preparation set. It's not a warm-up as such because 180 is still fairly heavy, but it's the kind of final set to get my central nervous system ready, get everything firing so I can hit that heavy strength set at the top. My focus on these squats is to get a good brace every single time. So I'm sucking the air into my stomach and filling my lungs up, getting a nice tight core to create that rigid spine, or rigidity around the spine, so that I'm not collapsing under the weight. I'm forcing my knees outwards to allow my body to come into the gap of the hips. Everybody's shapes and structure of their hips and stuff will be slightly different, and it will affect the way they squat slightly differently. So for me, I need to have my knees flared outwards and sort of sit into that gap. Some people can have their knees straight forwards and go right over the top, but my ankle mobility is not the best. So I have to, first of all, use lifting shoes with a slight heel, and also then pop my knees outwards by sort of squeezing the glutes and pulling my hips outwards and get down into that squat position from there. So the first exercise being squat then is kind of my strength exercise, strength and power building to increase my capacity for work in later exercises. So it's not really for hypertrophy as such, but there is going to be some hypertrophy, some muscle gain from that, especially if you start off squatting 100 kilos and build your squat up to 200 kilos. It's going to be some leg growth without a doubt. But the main part of my work really is just to be as strong as I can in the squat. And so next session, what I'll do then is I'll go to 202 for a set of 3 and just keep trying to progress that. Once I kind of stagnate on a weight, I'll then I'll bring the weight back slightly and try to gain a rep again. So say I get to 205 and I'm stopped, I've hit a wall, I'll come back to 200 or 195 and I'll try to build that to a set of 5 instead. So once I hit that wall, I can come back in weight a little bit, but add reps and then progress back up again. So the next exercise is a leg press. My leg press that I have here in the gym is limited in terms of the load that I can put on it, or at least my plates are too thick. So the most I can get on there is 250 kilos. So I stick to sort of higher rep sets for this. I work for 2 sets of 250 kilos on this. What I can do is I can add some bands to make some more resistance at the top of the movement, but I didn't do that today. So it's just straight sets at 250 kilos. And sometimes, depending on the day, if I feel like I have a little more energy, I want to push a little more, I will do a drop set. So I'll finish that 250 for a set of 12 or so. I'll get straight off, I'll take some plates off, and then continue to set a little bit further. Today I didn't think it was necessary because I had a good session in a squat previously, so I thought I would stick to the plan for this one. Now again, I know I've mentioned in a few videos, but I've got a partnership now with Art Martial Clothing, a martial arts inspired lifestyle brand. I'm wearing their stuff in the video today, so I'm going to put a link in the description of this video. I'm going to put something up on the screen as well, but go and check out their stuff. They've got some really nice stuff. They're supporting me, so if you want to support the channel, you can maybe get yourself something from there. They've got some really nice martial arts inspired designs. I'll also put a discount code in the description of this video so you can get 20% off of your first order. So back to the session. The next exercise is then leg extensions. So again, I'm working from a home gym, so I'm quite limited in terms of what I have. I've got a well-equipped gym, so I can't complain too much, but the leg extension is limited in terms of what I can load it with really. So what I do is I do a leg extension first for 2 sets, 2 working sets of relatively high reps, 15 to 20 reps usually because of the weight that I can put on it. And then I'll follow this with sissy squats. which will be coming up in a second. But the sissy squat is going to be hitting the quads in a more stretched position. Because of the way my leg extension machine is designed, the load is heavier at the top of the range of motion as I come up to the full extension, but there's a little bit less load at the bottom. So like in the stretch. So what I want to do is I'm hitting the kind of extended portion of the leg, of the quad, or the motion of the leg extension in the leg extension bench. And then I'm coming to the sissy squat to also work the quads in a stretched position. This is also good for mobility as well. Strengthen the knee joints, get the quads nice and strong and the knees kind of healthy with that. So the focus with the sissy squat is to try to push your knees right over your toes, keeping your knees, hips and chest, shoulders in the same line as you come down. A nice pause at the bottom and try to press through the floor as if you are doing a leg extension. So you're pressing into the ground to bring yourself back up. It's easy to kind of throw your hips back and then squat out of it like using a normal squat pattern, but we want to try to make it only quad focused. So try to press into the ground and leg extension your way back up to the top. It takes a little bit of trial and error to get that feeling, but once you get it, it's a really nice motion. You can add load to that. Again, today I didn't do that, but I have in the past added a plate to my chest, or you can put a backpack with some plates in it, and it's quite nice. It's something you can do at home as well. So I'll follow the sissy squats up with hamstrings. As I said, the legs A session, the first leg session of the week, is a quad focus session. However, I do still hit the hamstrings with one exercise. The other session is more hamstring dominant, so I'll have hip hinge like a RDL and more sets of leg curls, and I will still hit quads in that session. So it's kind of a quad heavy session and the other one's a hamstring heavy session. So as I said, I'm doing hamstring curls here. I did 2 sets with a drop set on the second one. Again, higher reps, 12 to 15, due to the fact that the weight that the machine is not really able to be loaded so heavy. So I did, on the second set, I got to 12 reps, got off, dropped the weight, continued the set a little bit further for another 10, just to kind of increase that volume a little. The final exercise in my A session, my first leg session of the week, is a calf press. So you don't have to have a calf press necessarily. It could be a calf raise or something, but I did three working sets. And the focus here is to really get deep into a stretch at the bottom and stop. So I'm not using momentum. I'm not kind of bouncing off the Achilles tendon. I'm sitting in the bottom and slowly popping up into that contraction, making sure that we are using the calves as opposed to kind of bouncing and using momentum and springing off that, that tendon there. Again, this is a great movement for improving ankle mobility, which I need to do. And it's also something that's really important in karate and also in other martial arts. Good ankle mobility can prevent injuries, strengthen the ankle joint altogether to sort of stabilize that a little bit. It can improve your balance as a result of being stronger. And also it can help you be a bit more faster, more powerful, because you can spring off the calves a little bit better with stronger calves. And then to complete the session, I stretch a little bit just to kind of cool down. Mainly the quads and hamstrings, really. I also didn't get this on video, but I also hang from the bar to decompress my spine a little, because obviously putting 200 kilos on my back is relatively heavy, so the spine is getting a little bit of compression there. So I hang off of the bar at the end just to kind of allow my spine to kind of decompress. It's quite a nice feeling stretch. It stretches the lats out as well and gets a nice feeling to sort of finish up. So a slightly different video today from my usual kind of more karate focused ones, but I have been getting a lot of requests for this. So if you enjoyed this, let me know if you want to see the other sessions. I've got legs B, I've got upper, push and pull sessions as well. I can do the same kind of format with those, and I'm probably going to do them over the next coming weeks. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. Support the channel by commenting, liking, sharing the videos, and again, check out Art Martial Clothing. Check out the stuff. They've got some really nice bits, really nice to train in as well. So have a look at that, and I'll see you in the next video.